Good evening, everyone, and welcome to today's PSAI Talk Show Global. Hi, I'm your host and host, Mithyll. I'm a professional speaker, business coach, author, and a content creator who works with coaches and professional speakers building their digital business ecosystem with the right system and processes. I run the Content Alchemist Show podcast, and my book, From Invisible to In Demand, dives into turning your expertise into attention, trust, and opportunity. As a fellow professional speaker and a community builder, I'm deeply passionate about creating spaces where ideas transform into actions. And today, we are exactly going to learn how we, as speakers, not only just grow on the stage, but also how we can utilize AI and can create a sustainable and an amazing business. Let me quickly introduce about PSAI. The Professional Speaker Association of India have been formed to help build a strong community to help you enhance your professional speaking career globally. PSAI is proud to be part of the Global Speakers Federation, an organization of 17 national speaking associations across the globe. In India, PSAI is in most of the cities like Chennai, Bangalore, Delhi, Mumbai, Hyderabad, Vadodara, and we have recently launched a virtual chapter as well. Now, quickly, let me share about PSAI Talk Show Global. This live interactive event is designed to raise awareness about the high impact speaking topics while giving you deeper insights into PSAI's vision, values, and the benefits of being part of our speaking fraternity. Now, you can ask questions live, you can learn from the experts, and connect with passionate professionals across the country. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my absolute honor to introduce today's guest. He is an AI thinking specialist, thinkers coach, and thinking sensei, author of 37 plus books, as the past president of the Professional Speaker Association of Southern Africa and an Education Hall of Fame inductee. He brings energy, depth, and the practical insights to every stage, boardroom, and coaching engagement. And he also shares the name with one of my favorite superheroes. But before we welcome him onto the show, let me quickly share a video about him. So here is it.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Bruce Wade.
It is no longer the biggest or the wealthiest that will survive, but those who have the ability to adapt and adjust to this fast-changing world around us through extreme thinking. Those are the ones that are going to emerge as the winners. Knowing how to think and turn those ideas into viable, sustainable, and profitable product offering is what will separate the haves and the wannabes. Using AI is no longer a nice to have. These tools need to become a part of our very essence, not to replace, but to enhance what we can already do as innovators. The ability to think creatively is now an essential, critical skill. Through my I5 framework, I will show you how to think, learn, apply, and utilize your brain to give you that unfair advantage in the market. Are you ready?
Absolutely. I am ready. You are ready. Let's quickly bring Bruce onto the stage. Hi, Bruce.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you very much for having me on your afternoon show. Happy to share with all the people in India.
Awesome. Excited, and thank you so much, Bruce, for being as a guest on PSAI Talk Show Global.
Thank you.
Super excited to deep dive onto today's topic. So, to begin with, Bruce, how do you see AI transforming the world of professional speaking over the next few years?
So, as a good speaker, I want to start with a story because it paints a picture of how I see so many speakers. It's a story about a road painter. He's the guy that paints the lines down the middle of the road. And his first week, he does very, very well. He gets congratulated on the mileage that he's painted. The second week, it doesn't go down too well. The third week is even worse. And he gets called into the manager's office and he goes like, why are you slacking? Each week you're getting worse and worse. And he says, well, it takes longer to walk back to the pot of paint each time I've got to dip my brush in it. And it's a really silly joke because people go, oh, that's so silly. But so many people that I come across, especially speakers, we've learned this thing that we've set in. Like you've got to keep the brush, and the paint in the shade and go and dip it in there. And that's what we learn. And we go off and we do, and we keep coming back to old ways. What we need to learn that things are different. The rules of engagement are different. And I want to use that paint metaphor as how many times do we keep going back to old things instead of embracing what is new? Because until you let go here, you cannot move forward to where we're at. And I think for me, I am so much better as a speaker, as a researcher, as a writer, as a contributor of value and content because of AI. And in no ways do I see it as a competition. I don't see humans and AI like this. I see humans and AI like this. And I think that is the big, big difference between a lot of people. A lot of people go, oh, I'm so threatened by AI. Ooh, it's going to take over. Well, if you like this, it can't take over because you are symbiotic and you are working together. So I've got 3 words: collaborate, co-create, and cooperate. And those are the 3 words that we need to have at all times when it comes to AI.
It's so wonderful. The 3 C's are so powerful. And quickly, all the people who are watching this show live, quickly drop into your chat. How many of you are using AI into your professional speaking journey? Type AI so that we both can know, yes, you are using it. In the meantime, Bruce, many speakers that I interact with, they feel that AI might replace the human creativity. What's your perspective on AI as partner rather than someone who feels a threat for the speakers?
So I do an introduction in my AI talk, and one of the examples that I use in 1978 when I was at school, yes, I'm that old, Casio came out with a little handheld calculator, and the world went nuts. They were going, oh my goodness, it's the end of the world. The kids will stop thinking. They will stop being able to solve problems. They will stop doing maths. The end of the world is nigh. We're not going to get to the 80s. It's going to die. And it's exactly the same, is that, yes, we don't do simple mathematics. We pull out our phones and we do the calculator thing, but it allows us to think in so much different way and so much more productive and alternate thing, because we're using the calculator to step up. Yes, we dropped the logbooks and the slide rule and all those things that we used to use, but we are so much better because of it. And those people who are still threatened by the Casio calculator are the people that are going to get left behind. So AI doesn't replace, it adds to. And the same way as a calculator, same way with a smartphone, the same way with all these other things that we thought were going to be the end of the world. It's actually not. It's just a transition of where we're going through. So the world is not ending. The future is just beginning.
Wow, Bruce, this is beautiful. You immediately took me to the book, one of my favorite book, Who Moved My Cheese, where it says that all the people who don't change, they get extinct, and the one who adapts are the ones who go into the future. Well
Yeah.
said, Bruce.
Mm.
So, Bruce, as per your experience, do you feel that are there any AI tools that can help speakers improve their delivery, voice modulation, or even body language?
So yes, there's a whole lot, and I'm going to give you now. I'm not endorsed or licensed or anything like that, and I know whenever I tell someone a tool, someone else has got a better one, and that's awesome. Use what you're comfortable. I drive this car, you might drive that car. It doesn't make any car any better or anything like that. It's the way it goes there. But I do need to make people aware of this term called AI slop. SLOP. Now, if you think of a restaurant, okay, think of your favorite restaurant and then go, not in the front, go around the back. You'll find this big plastic tub where they scrape all the food in. It's called the slop bucket. It is filled with the leftover degradation of what happened in the restaurant. Now, this is how a few of the AIs have been trained. They've been trained, and we get now what we call AI slop, because AI, like ChatGPT with OpenAI specifically, because they've been around longer. When they first started, they were training their AI models, their large language models, on what made humans happy. So they got all these students in America, and they were saying, tell us what makes you happy, and then we'll put that into AI. Now, if you take the average student in the world, it doesn't matter where they come from, the average student, and you want to base your future of your company on the mindset of a 20-year-old, maybe it's better to eat out the front thing and not out the slop bucket. So one must be very, very careful where your AI is based and where your tool is based in, because there's a lot of AI that's feeding straight out of the slop bucket and not out of the front end of the restaurant where you should be eating. So with that, no endorsements. I endorse Anthropic and Claude because they've got very high moral clauses. They've got very high values, and I know they've had a big fight at the moment with the Pentagon around the war, using Anthropic algorithms to kill people in the Middle East, and they don't like it because we didn't hear any complaints from the others. So I'm a very big Claude fan. I'm a very big Anthropic is the company behind Claude. And so that's where I'm based. So I've kind of pegged my moral compass on that. It's not the best, and I know people would probably argue with me. Happy to have that discussion. I've done my research. And we want to play around with it. So there's a whole lot of stuff there, but specifically for speakers. Now, just a little sideline is I run a company called Voices into Africa. And a part of that Voices into Africa is Center Stage Academy. Some of you might have heard about Red Jacket Speaker Bureau, and we're launching all sorts of stuff there. But on the voicesintoafrica.com website, we've got a little education tab there. Underneath that, we've got AI bots who are running training courses. Oh, it's free. And you can go and do an essential speakers program with 16 modules enabled with an AI bot that'll ask you personal questions and help you facilitate through the course. So there's a huge amount of AI available there. We're using AI. V is one of our speaker assistant robots. She'll write speeches for you, do research for you, help you with the layout of your book, assess speakers, do stage choreography for you. So AI and speakers, again, not like this, but like this. We are doing that. But there's a couple of tools that I also just want to highlight there, because I think for a lot of speakers, we don't know how well we speak. So we want to know where our pitch and tone and pause and pace and volume are. And there's 3 tools that I've used really, really well. My favorite one is ORAI. Okay, and I've ORAI, or however it's ORAI. It's nice just to spell it out because it is kind of what. So ORAI is a wonderful thing because you can do your speech to your computer or your phone and upload it, and it'll give you all those stats like a Toastmasters on steroids. It'll give you all that thing. It'll show you all those ums and ahs and your pauses. It'll give you your pace and your pitch and your tone and everything else there. And those are the types of things that when you get to, it's easy for a speaker to get from 0% up to about 40%. You can do that in a month. To get from 40% to 60% takes probably 2 years. To get 60 to 70, another 3 years. But when it's above that, when you're trying to get from 80 to 82%, it's a 5-year journey because it becomes so much harder. And the people that are at that higher level are distinguished because they are using the tools to improve themselves. The same way as a sports person is using computer analytics to, if you move your left foot an inch to the right, you're going to hit the ball better. That's that sort of level that you need to do. It's not just going out and being brash and trying to do things bigger and harder. It's where the science comes in. So companies like that, Speako as well is also really, really good. And then the voice analyst in speech tools. All those are my top 3 kind of AI speaking tools where the information they get back is worth gold, absolutely gold. You pay per speech for some of them, limited subscription, and you can do your speech and it'll give that. So if you're entering a speaking competition or you've got a big keynote to a big client, it is well worth just pausing and getting that 80 to 82% in a day or 2, rather than having to go through that cost of experience. So those are my kind of top speaking tips. I could go on and on with 100 other tools that I use, but that's avoid slop, use good tools.
I think that's going to be the biggest takeaway, Bruce, the golden nugget that you have shared. Many of them who are right now here, they didn't knew about AI slop, including me. So yes, this is something very new, and probably we are going to introduce that into our own working. How many of you never heard about AI slop before? Just type AI slop into the chat, and yes, we will also get to know about it. In the meantime, Bruce, I have seen many of them since I'm a business coach, I also see that many of them use AI in a better way by creating dashboards and reports to understand the audience preferences. Do you really think that can AI help even the speakers to understand audience preferences as well as trending topics?
I think it's absolutely essential. So if I'm speaking at an event, I'm going to put that event through my AI agents and my AI bots that I've created, and I've got a whole lot of purpose designed bots. And they all got names. I've got about 17 bots that all work for me at any one time, and there are some there that do deep research. So I will send it is that I've got this conference for this company, go and get me all the data, and it goes and it's able to read annual financials. It's able to read all the journals. If I give it a list of the other speakers, it'll go in there and assess all the other speakers. I want to know what the other speaker, I want to see their models. I want to see who's similar to me, who's different to me, who I want to be on a panel against. If somebody's got opposing ideas, I would put my hand up and I think me and this guy, we should be on a panel because we got ideas, and it's all that. So there's all that information we can get there. And a lot of AIs can't access LinkedIn. And stuff. So LinkedIn's got very big high fences around it, which is wonderful because it keeps its information fairly tough there. But there is a way you can go and mine LinkedIn for various things. We've got a wonderful LinkedIn profile analysis tool that goes there and makes your LinkedIn profile more human friendly as well as agent friendly. And those are almost contradictory terms, because as you do one, the other one drops and you get there. So we're looking at sort of building and how to get your profile sort of get there. But definitely, looking at trends, it's the best tool on the planet to find trends now is a good AI agent who is able to go there and go look at the company's data for the past 10 years and find me 4 trends that I can speak about. And you can just see the CEO's eyes almost fall out of his head when you mention that on stage in your keynote. According to your latest 3 years of financials, I've noticed that your marketing spend has gone up 25%. That's not enough, Mr. Boss. It should be 48%. And people go, oh, and the information is a given. It's like oxygen. And if you're not using AI to get that information, you're just going backwards.
Wow. I mean, Bruce, you just, this was a mic drop. The way you explained that how AI can definitely help in finding the right audience preferences as well as trending topics. I think this is powerful. How many of you feel that yes, what Bruce said right now was powerful? But Bruce, now if I have to wear, a devil's advocate, with AI generating content easily, how can speaker ensure that their message still remains authentic as well as original?
So if you are using generic and free, you are playing at the back door of the restaurant. Okay. So if you just go into your browser and you type in ChatGPT or OpenAI or even Claude free, you are at the risk of being lied to. In fact, I think it's on the ChatGPT window at the bottom. It's got a little message to say, "I make up stuff. Don't trust me," which is the perfect way to build trust. Imagine having that on your headlines slide when you walk up on stage. "Hi, my name's Bruce Wayne. I make stuff up. Do not trust me. Welcome to today's keynote." And I think so. The way to get around that is don't use free. You get what you pay for when it comes to AI. So if anything, hedge your bets on a tool and put your effort into that. So whether it is Grok or ChatGPT or Gemini or Claude, play around with it, get one there and pay for it. Get an account, because what they do is a paid account will build up credibility and you can teach it how to behave. It's like having a little pet. You can't just go random down there and grab any animal from the animal shelter and bring it home. It's going to behave. It takes days and months to train it. And AI is exactly the same. So one of my big commands in AI is do not make up stuff. I say it a little stronger than that, and I emphasize it. And I actually get all my data that's come back from research and stuff. I get it to grade it with 5 stars. 5 stars, 100% valid. I believe in it. 1 star, I kind of found this thing and I don't know whether it's true. And there are other stars. So it's able to grade it and it's sorted. And in fact, now it won't even show me the 1-star stuff because it's only finding its stuff. And often it'll come back to me and say, "Bruce, I'm looking. I can't find all the good stuff. Do you want me to keep looking?" Yes. Keep looking, and remember, don't make stuff up. So it is very, very important to realize that cheap AI will make up. It'll find out, Talk Show Global. I saw that, and the website must be talkshowglobal.com, and it'll just give you that URL, and you go, "What? Where did it?" And it sounded good. Oh, talkshowglobal.com. Well, that must be a good year. And it's just made that up because it does it. So it is very, very good because it's fishing in the slop bucket and it's not moving into that thing. But you can ask it to validate it. I have a separate bot called Mr. Plod after a policeman Plod, and he specifically is tasked to validate data, things like email lists and URLs, and he goes through each one and actually pings. Cost me a fortune to run because he actually pings every single URL and every email, validates the company name and the spelling. So a mailing list through Mr. Plod will come back a lot smaller, but validated with 5 stars, 4 stars, 3 stars, and nothing below that, because then that's a bunch of lies. So it is very, very important to do that. The more you train it in your own voice, the more it's going to sound like you. The more you give it stuff that you've written to read, it'll use your stuff there. So it's not me and a bot or me and AI, it's us together again working. So my bots have my voice, my bots have my understanding. If you go there and say, what is the innovation rules? It'll show you, what is the I5 thing? Well, there. And often I'll ask it a question and say, well, based on your theory of this and your methodology, here's another version. I'm going, it's like speaking to myself, which is exactly what we want. It's not animated intelligence. It's stuff there. It's collaborative intelligence.
Bruce, this exactly looks like an AI masterclass with every golden nuggets you are sharing every 1 minute. And I totally agree with Sagar. Yes, uh, Bruce, you are sharing gold here. So totally, I agree with it. Uh, but Bruce, when it comes to speakers, where can they draw the line between using AI assistants and maintaining their own voice?
So I see, I remember feeling bad when a spell checker started updating my spelling for me. And I was going, I don't need to know how to spell to write correctly, because Grammarly that I use fixes that for me automatically, and predictable text fixes that. Is that not me because Grammarly fixed my grammar? Of course it's me. And things. So if I'm using a bot that is trained in my voice, and that it becomes an extension of me, not an alternative to me. And I think that's where a lot of people say, oh, AI is going to take my job. No, AI is going to take the job of people who don't work with AI. You're not being replaced by AI. You're replaced by people who are using AI. That's the difference. There's a huge future for people with AI. And I think there's a huge fallout that's going to happen over the next couple of years in the speaking world, where people who are not AI enabled are just unable to reach that requirement for the bar of entry, because you're still going to dip your paintbrush in the paint tin 4 kilometers up the road.
Wow, that's really awesome, Bruce. So before I move ahead with the list of questions that I have prepared, why don't we take, Bruce, a couple of questions from the audience? What do you say?
Okay, let's see.
Sure. So the very first question is, do all AI tools give the same outline with the same prompt? Have you ever tried, Bruce?
I do this all the time. In fact, I would at any one day have 3 or 4 different tools open, and I'll copy the same prompt word for word into all of them, and they are very, very different. Images are exactly the same. You open up Grok, you open up Chat, you open up Claude, and Copilot, and you go, draw me a diagram or a image of this and this and this, and you'll see the difference, and you can see which ones are interesting and to be able to do that. So especially when it comes to Venn diagrams and analyzing information, oh my goodness, there's been huge development recently in a lot of AI with the layout and documents and Venn diagrams and flow diagrams, and Claude is just leapt 100 miles into the future in that. Literally in the last week, there's a hot news. If you want a really good formatted report, just go to Claude and say, rewrite this in a fancy report, and you'll see it'll come back with all the bells and whistles, and it is really nice. So yeah, I run comparisons all the time. It's very important for me because people ask me questions, what is the best? And it's not a personal preference, it's an experiential preference.
Wow, that's really good, Bruce. And in fact, you have almost convinced me to quit ChatGPT and go to Claude.
Good. My job is done.
Thank you. I'm really scared of the AI slop. The way you have designed it, I'm really scared now. All right, we have the next question from Yavijan. Is the future of great speaking more about mastering technology or mastering human emotions and connections?
Wow, that's a good one. Okay, so EQ. We speak about EQ. There's a lot of people who speak about EQ. EQ, the relationship between human and human. Speakers have to be advanced doctorate levels at that. Emotional casting, understand, persuasion, manipulation, intervention, all those things that come with a good EQ. I want to propose not an alternative, but a addition, what I call AQ, agent quotient, human and bot and human together. What is your relationship with technology? And if you are able to master AQ as well as EQ, then you are a master on the stage because you know how to manipulate, invoke, work with, enhance, speak to AI as well as the stage. So I think where before people say the master of the stage is someone who can got their audience in their hand, and we've seen all these things, how to cast your emotions and convince and persuade and stuff. You've got to have the same skill set with AI. So one hand with the bots, one hand with the other humans, and we are bringing them together because if you're standing on the stage looking at trends and technology and stuff, you better be able to back up your stuff with new and solid information, because there's nothing worse than someone in the audience putting your hand up and go, you see, you're using ChatGPT, it's full of AI slop, and your whole presentation just goes and falls apart.
Wow, Bruce. Bruce, this particular answer of yours reminded me a conversation between the Flash and Batman, where Flash asks, "What's your superpower?" And Batman says, "I'm rich." And with Bruce, it's rich with AI.
Yeah, I look at, and I think that's why it fits so well with the superhero of Batman, because he's the only superhero without a superpower other than technology.
True.
And I think that's why I align myself so much with him, because and the name, so it's the Wade Industries instead of Wayne Industries, but it's about leveraging technology, because that's all Batman does. Okay, he's rich, so he's got a lot more technology. For us, it's free and available, so we don't need to be rich. We've got that, and we can play around with where we're at. So it's a great way. But I think definitely AQ is going to be one of the essential skills of companies, executives, leaders, and speakers in the next 2 to 3 years.
Wow. And many of the people who are watching this live or even recorded in the future, many of you don't know, but Bruce is in the speaking world. People call him the Batman because, yes, Bruce Wayne, Bruce Wade. So we have third question, Bruce, from Dr. Megha Bansal. How about originality of speech while using AI?
Yeah, so I think this is the biggest opposition that a lot of people get. Is it still me? And stuff. So if I take a calculator and I go 3 times 3 and I press enter, who does that answer belong to? Does it belong to Casio? Does it belong to the calculator? Does it belong to some universal force flowing around? Does it belong to the batteries in the car? No, it's my answer. I typed it in and it gave me the answer. So I see AI like that. If you say an outsource, if you're sitting there with me and AI like this, then definitely it's not yours. A lot of people say, write me, I do this a lot, write me a poem for a friend for a birthday. Now, I can't write poetry. Okay? I'm never going to profess to write poetry. But I've got a friend who's got a birthday and I go to Claude in the morning, I say, write my friend a poem. He's turned 60 and it writes amazing. And I send the poem and I said to my friend, here's a poem my AI wrote for you. It's not, I wrote this poem for you, because he's going to go, no, you didn't. And I think the same thing. But if I go into my agent that knows my voice, that has read 10 or 15 of my books, has got access to my blog, has access to all my keynote notes and stuff, and I'm going, just help me work through this other thing that I've got to do for financial sector next week. It's going to go, what about that? That's me, because all it's doing, it's reworking my data in my voice for me a lot faster, rapid development, and we're able to get there. So definitely, but not always. Sometimes it's just slop.
Absolutely. And now with Bruce, you sharing about and predicting how the speakers with the skill set they are supposed to be in the future, what do you feel, Bruce, that what skills should speakers start developing right now to actually stay relevant in the AI driven world?
I think you've got to learn how to do stuff very fast. Rapid development was a term. I come out of the IT sector many years ago, and we had this, and it used to take years to develop an application or a system or a flow or thing. And then we had rapid development, and new fourth generation development tools came out. And literally, I can write you an app. If you wanted an assessment app to your marketing clients, and you were doing a keynote at 8:00 tonight, and we finished this at 7:00, I could have that app on your phone by 7:20. And that's the difference between that. 10 years ago, we would have a meeting, then we'd have a meeting about a meeting, then we'd have a proposal, then we'd have a budget, and we'd assemble the team, and that'll be a month, and then we can do this and this and this. And that's exactly where it's rapid development. I can do new ideas, new stuff, new assessments, new apps very, very fast there. And I think one also is we can repurpose data. So I can take my book, and I can say, here's my book, my AQ leader book, which unpacks AQ. And I'm going, I want to do a marketing campaign for this book over the next month, extract out of there 10 quotes, 10 blog articles, and a couple of posts for my website. And it'll go there in literally 5 minutes. It's got all those, and I'll go, okay, from my library based on my brand thing, create images for the blog posts, and they're all there, and I copy and paste, I read through them and make sure, whose words are those? They're my words, they just repurpose. So repurposing and rapid development are definitely something. Designing is also something, again, in my voice, using my brand book, using my things. All my bots have got lifelike images. All those are created based on a template and a diagnostic that I've developed in an agent that is able to do that. But I think the biggest plus and the biggest thing is research, where before we had to pay for research. Remember when we phoned up a research house and we said, listen, I'm looking for the stats on how many people in Africa have got access to 3G cell phones. And they will go, send us a check for this amount and we'll get back to you in 3 months' time. And now I can do that in 3 minutes and it doesn't cost me anything. So I think research is absolutely good. I can use some of my bots to go find out how many people have dogs or cats across India and give me the proportion of those, how many are male, how many are female, and and I could get that information in minutes, rather than days or hours or weeks, or what it used to be, months. So I think research is really good. And then, as we said a little earlier, assessing audiences and assessing that. I'm able to do that. Who else is speaking? What are they speaking about? So I go to a convention or a symposium. I'm fully equipped. I feel like Mr. Gadget. I've got all that information. And you know what? I've got my top 5 people I want to find and talk to. And I know tea time, I'm not doing idle chitter chatter. I know my first tea time, I'm speaking to this guy. My second tea time, I'm speaking at lunch, I'm speaking to this guy. At supper time, I'm speaking to this guy. And if I can't find him, I've got a reserve person. And I know that these are the cards, this is the brochure, this is what I want to go, and I'll go up to them and I'll go, I love your book. I've been reading it. Here's a copy of my book, and because I think we got some, can we do lunch next week on Wednesday? Because I know you play golf on Wednesday. I'll meet you at the golf club at 6:00.
I'm just having fireworks in my brain right now, Bruce. You are giving me so many ideas and a lot of bulb-on movements. How many of you are feeling like, you're getting a lot of ideas while Bruce is sharing so much valuable information absolutely free? This is the power of community, where we love to share, we love to give. Thank you so much, Bruce. Otherwise, this would have been an exclusive AI masterclass worth $1,000 plus, for sure.
Yes.
So, Bruce, for speakers who are absolutely curious but they are hesitant about AI, what would be the very first small step they can take to start using it very effectively without touching the AI slop?
I think go play with Claude. And if you don't know what to do with Claude, ask Claude what to do with it. And that's the nice, I liken it to, going back. If we think back early when we first fell in love with our first crush, and you're sitting going and you go like, can I hold your hand? Well, yeah, how should I hold your hand? Oh, hold my hand. Oh, that's so comfortable. Okay, can I give you a hug? How do you like to be hugged? And you asking, that's how I treat AI. And if Claude comes back and says, I don't know what you're asking. Well, how should I ask this? And the teacher, and you go, oh, now I know. Is this prompt all right? Or write a prompt for me to write a prompt to ask you for other prompts. And so we've going there. And if you don't, if it comes back, I don't know what you do. If it comes back with the wrong stuff, you go, that's not what I wanted. Help me improve my prompt to get me what I want. And it'll come back and said, what did you want? I say, actually, I wanted a picture of a watermelon, not a cactus. And they go, well, here's the prompt that you would do. And you go, oh, so you can ask it to train you to learn how to ask it. And that's the best. And you can do that all day, and it's not going to get cross with you. So play around with Claude. Play around with ORAI, because I think for that speaking tool, you want to accelerate your speaking. It's instant, 0 to 80% in a matter of minutes with that. And then I would really encourage you to go get experience with one of our bots. Either go join the Essential Speakers program or go and engage with V, the speaker assistant, at voicesintoafrica.com, because I'm not promoting the brand at all. I'm promoting AI through my brand. And you pay a minimal fee to get access to V, and V will walk you through the process of developing an outline of a keynote. And it'll take you 5 minutes with V rather than maybe days or weeks on your own. And that's where you get comfortable with asking, because you're ignorant, and get over that ignorant stage like you were when you were first falling in love and you didn't know what to do with this person that you wanted to kiss, but you didn't know how to, and sitting in the same room, that awkward, and people are like that with AI all the time. You've just got to go and ask, like, I want to kiss you. How would you like to be kissed? Oh, but we never get there.
The metaphor was really cool, Bruce. Thank you so much for sharing that. How many of you are going to try having a conversation with the AI? Choice is yours, ChatGPT, Perplexity, Claude. But yes, Bruce is recommending Claude. So how many of you are going to try that? And what is the first thing you're going to ask? Do share into the comment. And Bruce, with this, we come to the rapid fire round, where I'm going to ask you a few questions. You're not going to get time to think. Whatever the first thing comes in your mind, you have to share. So are you ready?
Yep, let's go.
Awesome. So the very first one, stage or studio? Which do you enjoy more?
Stage. People contact, energy. I love stage. I'm so much better on stage.
Awesome. One word that describes the future of speakers with AI.
Speaking. Because the people with AI are not going to be speaking.
True. Now, this is one question a lot of speakers usually interact: coffee before speaking or silence before speaking?
For me, it's breathing. I have a quiet, it doesn't necessarily be quiet. I can sit in a room full of this and I breathe. And my secret formula for breathing, I've been to so many breath works and all this. My latest secret thing, and I've used this for the past 3 or 4 months, is as I'm walking up on stage, I breathe in through my nose until my lungs are full. And then I take a sharp intake of breath in my mouth. And what it does is it pops the lungs to its 110th capacity. And then I breathe out. And when you walk up to the microphone, your lungs are ka-ching and turned on, rather than and that whole. That is my superpower of breathing, much better than coffee.
Lovely. So, Bruce, if AI could do one thing perfectly for speakers, what should it be?
I think vibe coding. Now, we haven't been down this road yet, but vibe coding is learning how to code using words and not Python, not Fortran, not any of these other stuff that we do there. And I can write 10,000 lines of code using Claude with probably about 10 sentences, and it's all done in 20 minutes, and I'll have an app for you. Vibe coding is the secret sauce of the future.
Lovely. 2 more questions. One word people often use to describe you,
Fire
apart
hose.
from Batman.
Mostly it's fire hose, because as you've seen, and so people get stunned and walked away. I don't do it to over impress myself. I do it because I'm so enthusiastic. I've got so much to share. But often people are sitting there going like, whoa, too much, too much.
And one word about how you felt in the PSAI Talk Show Global.
I'm honored. I think that would be a true reflection of the way I'm feeling now. I really am honored to be here and honored to be able to share with fellow speakers from other side of the world, and especially from India. A huge part, I've got a history of India in my family, and it's been a huge honor just to be able to kind of contribute back to and honor the world champions of the T20.
Absolutely. Let's have one more question from the audience. So this is a question, Bruce, asked by Trimrose. How does a speaker choose or narrow down on an AI tool based on their speaking niche? A beautiful question.
That's a really good question. It really doesn't matter what tool you use, but if you train your tool in your niche, it becomes your secret agent assistant. And I think I've got a number of really good kind of agent places I'll go to. So if I'm in any doubt about any of my information, the nice thing about AI is if I give it a book to read, it reads the whole book, which none of my friends do. They read the whole book and it remembers the whole book. And so you can go and ask it about your book and it'll tell you stuff that you have forgotten. You know, we write 30,000 words and we'll remember 5,000 on a good day. AI remember all 30,000 and the other book and the other book, and it'll do cross-diagnosis and it'll niche my niche into what we call that super niche, and that is where the gold lies, is to super niched. So if I'm super niched with innovation in financial sector or innovation in hospitality, and moments of truth in hospitality use innovative extreme thinking, that's a super niche, and that's the difference between average and above average.
Wow. Thank you so much, Bruce. This was really a brilliant talk show. One of the episodes that I have experienced, and I'm grateful that today I got the opportunity to be the host to experience that live. Otherwise, yes, most of the time it happens either on the backstage or you're just watching it on YouTube. But this live, I could get it firsthand, and trust me, it's like 4th of July in my head right now. Lot of fireworks, and I am just waiting to go onto Claude and just bombard my ideas there. Thank you so much, Bruce, for taking such a lovely session.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. And thanks for all the lovely sayings and comments and everything like it. It's a huge honor to serve. It's my love language. So this is what I do to get value. Thank you.
Awesome. So, all the people who are watching live, if you can share what was your one learning that you could get immediately from this entire 1 hour of investing, please do share in the comments. And once again, thank you so much, Bruce, for sharing such powerful insights with us today. Now, from
Thank you.
sharing how AI is transforming the world of professional speakers to how to stay relevant in the AI driven world, you have given us strategies, tools that every budding, evolving, or even established speakers can put it into action. And once again, to all our PSAI members and speaker friends tuning in from across the world, I hope you're walking away with clarity, courage, and fresh ideas to take your speaking journey to the next level. Remember, speaking is not just about being on the stage, it's about creating impact, building communities, and running it like a true business, and having your AI not as a competitor, but as a friend, as rightly said by Bruce. On that note, thank you for joining us in this PSAI Talk Show Global. Stay visible, stay impactful, and keep turning your voice into value. But until then, this is Mithyll Dave, your host and host, signing off with our lovely guest, Bruce Wade. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.